may have saved the lives of the Leeds United football team. Captain John Hackett said he'd just been doing his job and found the fuss made over the accident quite hard to understand.
Captain Hackett, of course, dismisses suggestions that he's a hero. He was determined to share any glory with his crew.
The credit must go to the complete crew. And I'd like to say a personal thank you to them. Helen, Nicola, and the co-pilot who was flying the aeroplane also, Gary Lucas.
The 61-year-old pilot thinks he was only doing his job, but clearly Leeds United were keen to thank him. This letter is from the club's chairman, and in turn, Captain Hackett wanted to pay tribute to Leeds United's assistant manager.
David O'Leary was one of the few passengers who actually listened to the cabin staff's safety announcements. And when the emergency did occur, he said he remembered everything that he'd been told by the cabin staff during their emergency brief, and he actually assisted with the evacuation of the aeroplane.
Captain Hackett confessed he knew nothing of a fire in one of the plane's engines until he was told by stewardess Helen Dutton.
We'd no sooner gone up, I told John, and the next thing is we're down on the runway and we were getting the people out of the aircraft.
When you consider there are hundreds of these engines flying and they're doing tens of takeoffs every day of the year, it must be millions to one the chance of this happening.
I had in fact watched the game on television when they were playing West Ham, and my heart went to them, and then to have the event afterwards, it wasn't their day really. But they've got my support in the future, I can assure you.
But is he a Leeds fan?
I'd rather not comment on who I support.
The incident is now being fully investigated. Meanwhile, Captain Hackett says he's happy to return to the cockpit immediately. Ian Doverston, Sky News.
But it gives Leeds, of course, an opportunity to Captain John Hackett and his crew, who was in charge of that plane 10 days back, and they were on a return trip from West Ham. He and his crew are the guest of honours here tonight. Our guest...
Well, it's a special night here at Elland Road tonight for the air crew in that air crash last week when Leeds were taking off after the game at West Ham. Special presentation for them this evening, and I asked the club captain tonight, Gary Kelly, whether that was the idea of the players.
The idea of the players was to give the air crew something to say thanks in their own way. So I think we all decided to get them nice watches and engraved and all that. So it's a nice touch, you know.
Have the players come closer together because of that night?
Yeah, we had a good bunch of lads anyway, and they're all very close. But that has just brought us all together so much. It's just unbelievable, you know. We're all rooting for one another now, and it'd be nice now if we just keep us all together and get us a place in Europe, you know.
Now, your girlfriend has just had a baby son today, I understand, this morning, 9 o'clock. Congratulations to you both. But without being too dramatic, has it brought it home to you that night? Because he could have been born without a father, couldn't he?
That's it, on the night. I know it's a bad thing to say, I don't mean to be rude or that, but you'll never really know till you're on an airplane crash. You know, I don't wish it on anyone and that, but it was definitely some experience that I just hope that no one ever goes through, because it's a rotten thing, and lucky enough to be here today to see my son, you know.
Well done for that. And just finally on the football, European qualification, the main aim for Leeds, isn't it?
And now let's go inside the stadium, inside the Leeds dressing room. In fact, a little earlier, a presentation was made in there to the flying crew that were trying to bring Leeds United back from West Ham the other Monday night.
First of all, it's great to see us all. You know, we're delighted that you came along. On behalf of all these renegades here, who you're a great help to, we appreciate all what you did last week, and we're glad all of us are here in ways to have a laugh and really to, you know, just to be together. We appreciate what you've done, and as I say, we're delighted that you came along, and in some sort of gratitude and thank you, we'd like to present you with a little gesture here.
David,
so,
thank you very much
indeed.
indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Let's go the others.
Thank you. All right.
Is it?
Is that an M? Sorry?
Is it? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, again.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
Thank you.
Do it again.
Then there was a chance for photographs, one for the scrapbook, and then George grabbed a word with Captain John Hackett.
Captain Hackett, what's your reaction to the presentation from the Leeds players?
Overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. Didn't expect this. We thought we were just coming along to watch the game this evening.
As they say, you were just doing your duty, but to the players and the staff of the club, it was more than that, wasn't it?
Well, it was in the line of duty, obviously, what we did, but We don't want that to happen again, and I don't think it'll ever happen again in a flying lifetime myself.
Just hold up the watch which the players have bought for you. The watch is there, and the plaque is in the back there, which lists all the players and staff, everybody on the plane, in fact.
It's completely overwhelmed by all this. I mean, the girls are almost in tears with the hospitality. We can't believe it.
Now, we can't talk about the crash, it's under investigation, but what was the reaction of the players and the staff on the night? Were they first class?
Yes, they were all calm, collected, and I can't thank David O'Leary enough for his assistance. He listened to the announcement, and that's all we ask all the passengers to do. Listen to the emergency announcements, and he did do.
And yourself, how has this left you?
Well, I've been flying back as normal. I've just been doing normal flights. So, all in day's work, as they say.
Thanks very much, Captain.
Thank you.
And there's a lesson for all of us from David O'Leary. Listen to the safety announcements when we're flying. It's Elland Road tonight, special and by plane they did go. As we've seen tonight, Leeds United have with them the crew that got them safely down after all the problems as they tried to return home from West Ham the other Monday evening. Captain John Hackett there in the middle. They are the real heroes here this evening, aren't they? And a tremendous reception for them as well. As you've already heard from Captain John Hackett, they thought they were just here to watch a game. There's been presentations from the players, now the chairman of Leeds United. Totally overwhelmed by all this they are, especially the girls then. All in a line of duty, said the captain. Well, I suppose it was, but if you're sitting on that plane, it's exceptional what he did, isn't it? Leeds United staff, players, and a number of supporters were on that plane as well. Peter Ridsdale, the chairman of Leeds United, proudly now taking centre stage. And the flowers there from Sarah Waitpullen, who was one of those supporters on that plane. 14 years of age. Big thank yous. And as we said right at the start of the show, when you think about what might have happened, it does put everything into perspective, doesn't it? Captain's certainly moved by the evening, isn't he? As we've heard, business as usual for him. He's just carried on flying. Leeds United, first time out, of course, after the incident, was at the weekend against Barnsley. They won then. Can they stay on a roll? I suppose of all evenings that they could have chosen for the Bond theme, tonight was the night, wasn't it? Howard Wilkinson, Nigel Spackman, our guests here this evening. Nigel, very quickly, you were nearly right at the weekend when you called a draw for Sheffield United. What do you think here?